Welcome to point number 2, Andover's secrets of the admissions process. Now, point number 2 tends to surprise people because, especially in the Northeast, there's a illogical aversion to ranking. Now, in this area, being the Northeast, rank is not only in the purest sense of the word, but it is a 4-letter word. People fear that word like the plague. Apparently our children are too sensitive to deal with being ranked. The truth of the matter is, if you were to leave this region, students are given an actual rank number. You're told you're number 26 out of 100, whatever it might be. And colleges actually need rank information because it provides context to your GPA. A 3.5 GPA does not sound very good on paper, when in reality, if that's in the top 10% of the school, it just means it's a very difficult school to get a good grade in, and therefore that 3.5 is now a great GPA. So context is always important to keep in mind. The size of your school also matters. It's more impressive to be highly ranked in a very large school because you're out competing so many more students with potential bright minds. But rank is in fact the most important piece of information that colleges take from your transcript. What happens is colleges take your raw GPA data. They take your grades from your classes. When I say raw data, I mean unweighted. And they recalculate GPA themselves, usually on a 4.0 scale, applying weight for different courses. On a 4.0 scale, generally, honors courses receive a half a point boost, and AP courses receive a full point boost. To show you why rank is important, I must discuss what's called the AI, Academic Index. Your AI academic index is a score that is produced based on 2 to 3 factors. For schools that require SAT-2s, the 3 factors that go into calculating academic index are your SAT scores, your best math plus critical reading plus writing, and usually those are averaged. So they take your best combined SAT scores. Most schools are in fact being honest when they say that they quote-unquote super score, meaning that they take your best combined SAT scores. For schools that require SAT-2s, they include the subject tests, in their academic index calculations. Generally, they'll take your best 2 SAT-2s and average those 2. And finally, colleges take your GPA. More specifically, they take your rank. Like I said, in an area like the Northeast, where we are told constantly that we are not ranked, what happens is, when you apply, your guidance counselor sends, along with your transcript, a recommendation. Included in your guidance counselor recommendation is what is known as a grade distribution report. Each school has its own transcript, as you can imagine, and its own grade distribution report. And that information, or the grade distribution itself, provides colleges with enough information so that they can do the ranking themselves. And if you don't believe me, take a look at Naviance. Naviance itself is a program that, wait for it, ranks everybody relative to your own school. It's exactly what colleges are doing. So while you're being told that schools are not ranking students, it is exactly what is going on. And colleges need that information in order to provide context for your grades within your school. If it's an easy school, good grades are going to be common, and therefore rank information is very important. Likewise, if you're in a very difficult school, a high GPA is going to be very uncommon, so students with seemingly low GPAs, I should say, will have high ranks, and colleges will use that to the student's advantage. So rank is a necessary evil, so to speak. Now, for schools that do not require any SAT-2s, they are removed from the equation. Therefore, it becomes just SAT, and you'll rank. So as you can imagine, SATs can be upwards of 50% of your academic index. In fact, in some cases, it can be upwards of 2/3 of your academic index. 50 to 60% tends to be on average. Likewise, if you have taken an ACT instead of an SAT, fear not. Colleges do not care about which test you take. There is no difference for admissions purposes. But what colleges do is they'll convert scores to whichever test they were accustomed to using. So traditionally, SAT colleges will take ACT scores and convert them using their own scales and use that number to calculate academic index. And traditionally, ACT colleges will take SAT scores, convert those SAT scores using their own scales to an ACT score, and use those numbers to calculate your academic index. Now again, many people ask me, I've been told that we don't rank. How do I find out this information? Well, the honest answer is it depends on the relationship you have with your guidance counselor. Some guidance counselors will be very happy to share this information with you. It's always worth asking. And some might actually even be annoyed at the fact that you're asking to see this information. I recommend that you discuss it with your guidance counselor and at least try and find out what percentile you would fit into. Because while most schools, at least in the Northeast, don't rank, the information that's provided in the grade distribution report provides enough so that colleges can put you into percentiles. Usually the grade distribution report is a chart with a bar graph, for example, that will say 3.8 to 4.0, top 10%. 3.6 to 3.8, top 20%, and so on. So again, colleges with your GPA will have enough information to do the ranking themselves.